As night fell upon the dark waters of the Hellespont, there were only two things: the hopeful whisper of a love defying death, and a single light guiding that whisper. That light was a lantern. At the lantern's edge stood a woman, and in the depths of the sea, a man. Their immortal love echoed as one of history's most sorrowful and passionate legends. Why did this light go out? Why did the fate of these two lovers end in tragedy? Here is the chilling tale of what happened on that cold night centuries ago. One of the most poignant stories of ancient Greek mythology, the tale of Hero and Leander, reveals humanity's helplessness in the face of love, sacrifice, and destiny. Immortalized in the 1st century BC by the Roman poet Ovid in his work, Heroides, this legend actually dates back to a much older tradition. The setting for the story is the narrow and treacherous waters of the Dardanelles, Hellespont. On one side, on the shores of Sestos, present-day Gallipoli Peninsula, is the beautiful Hero, serving as a priestess of Aphrodite. On the other side, in Abydos, on the Anatolian coast of Çanakkale, lives the young and handsome Leander. Two shores, two different worlds, separated by a stormy sea that even swimming seemed impossible. Their love would be tested not only by geographical distances, but also by the rigid walls of social rules. This introduction not only opens the door to a legend, but also vividly portrays the dramatic moments that ignite the passionate journey of two young people amidst insurmountable odds. Main story. The story begins on a feast day at Hero's Tower in Sestos, where she serves as a priestess at the temple of Aphrodite. Named after Hera in Greek mythology, Hero is a young woman renowned for her beauty and regarded as the most precious daughter of this temple. The vow of celibacy that comes with being a priestess prevents her from experiencing love. Leander, who comes from Abydos, arrives in Sestos on that feast day and falls in love with Hero at first sight. Their love ignites with a single glance, and the two young people decide to bind their fates together. However, the distance between them is too great to be crossed even by a night's walk. The stormy Hellespont Strait stands as an obstacle to the lovers' meeting. Leander, believing in the power of his love, vows to overcome this barrier. Hero, on the other hand, will light a lantern every night in the window at the top of her tower. This light will guide Leander, and he will swim towards it every night to reach his beloved. On the first night when Leander steps ashore, he arrives at the place where Hero awaits him. Embracing her lover, this meeting is both a miracle and a transgression for Hero. They secretly spend the night together, and before dawn, Leander returns to the perilous waters. This ritual repeats every night throughout the summer. The darkness of the night both unites them and turns into a cold and eerie confidant that separates them until their next meeting. Leander's courage and determination are increased by the power of his love. Hero's lit lantern is not just a light, but also a symbol of their love and living proof of the hope that awaits him every night. Yet, as with every epic love story, this tale also has its tragedy. Winter arrives, and the Hellespont Strait becomes the scene of violent storms. Waves crash against the shores, the wind howls, and the sea transforms into a fearsome monster. Leander, undeterred by the storm, decides to set out again. He pays no heed to those who try to stop him. His heart and mind are solely focused on reaching Hero. Meanwhile, for Hero, waiting in her tower in Sestos, her greatest fear becomes reality. With the severity of the storm, the wind extinguishes the flame of the lantern. Hero desperately tries to relight the lantern, but the wind is so strong that it blows out the flame each time. At that moment, all hope vanishes for Hero. For Leander, the extinguishing of the lantern means losing his way. He is swept away in the darkness, and the cold waters of the strait swallow him. When morning comes, the waves wash Leander's lifeless body onto the shores of Sestos. Seeing his lifeless body from the place where she had waited for him for years, Hero lets out a scream. Consumed by grief and despair, she decides to follow her lover. She throws herself from her tower into the waters of the Hellespont and journeys towards eternity. Thus, the two lovers unite only in death, and their legend remains on people's lips for centuries. Hero, a young and beautiful priestess of Aphrodite in Sestos. Character traits. Her name is associated with heroism and sacrifice in mythology, and she lives up to the meaning of her name. She is a graceful, loyal, and devoted character, bound to her love until the end. Ovid's letters vividly describe her naivety, fears, and the strength of her love. The lantern she lights is a tangible symbol of her affection. Her tragic end proves the magnitude of her love and sacrifice. Leander, a young and handsome man from Abydos on the opposite shore of the Hellespont. He is a courageous, passionate, and reckless lover. He does not hesitate to face any danger for his love. His nightly swims across the treacherous waters of the Hellespont to reach his beloved demonstrate his determination and faith. Leander has become a symbol of love's power to push boundaries, even defying death. The story of Hero and Leander is not just a part of ancient Greek mythology. It is a universal theme of love and tragedy. The legend has inspired many artists, writers, and poets throughout the centuries. From Shakespeare to Byron, many have followed in the footsteps of this tragic love. Lord Byron himself was so moved by this story that he swam across the Hellespont in 1810. This legend conveys the message that love conquers all, while also reminding us of humanity's fragility against the power of nature and fate. Today, a tower overlooking the sea at the entrance of the Istanbul Strait, Leander's Tower or Kız Kulesi, is even attributed to this legend. Hero's lantern may have been extinguished, but the flame of these two lovers' affection continues to live on in human history as an undying legend.